December 11th, 1978, Kennedy Airport, New York. Just after 3 in the morning, a black Ford van pulls up to the Lufthansa cargo terminal. 6 armed men step out into the cold. They already know the building. They know the guards, the schedule, the layout, and the code. Weeks earlier, a cargo worker named Louis Werner had mentioned something to a bookmaker. Werner owed money he could not pay. He knew that on this night, the vault would hold a fortune. That tip traveled up through a chain of men. An associate named Henry Hill carried it to James Burke, a Lucchese enforcer. Friends called Burke Jimmy the Gent. He assembled a crew of 6 and planned the raid down to the minute. Inside the terminal, the men move fast. They round up the night workers at gunpoint. They are calm and specific. They call employees by name. One worker later said it felt rehearsed. They order the staff to open the double-doored vault. Then they begin loading the van. Cardboard boxes, sealed and heavy, pass hand to hand. Each box holds bundled cash flown in from Germany. More boxes hold jewelry. The crew works against a clock. They have been told to be gone within an hour. They nearly are. By the time they pull away, the van carries about $5 million in cash. It also carries nearly $1 million more in jewels. 6 workers were held through it all. None was harmed. One was told to wait exactly 10 minutes before calling for help. It was at that moment the largest cash robbery in American history. Nobody was shot. No alarm was tripped in time. On paper, it was perfect. Then it began to unravel. The plan had one simple final step. The van was to be driven to a junkyard in New Jersey and crushed. Every fingerprint, every fiber gone. The man assigned to this was Parnell Edwards. On the street, they called him Stacks. Stacks never made it to the junkyard. He drove instead to a girlfriend's apartment. He left the van parked on the street in a tow-away zone, keys still inside. Then he stayed the night. Within days, police found the van. It sat exactly where it had been left. Inside, investigators lifted fingerprints. The one thing the crew needed erased was now evidence. The FBI already suspected Burke. Now the case had a thread to pull, and Burke understood exactly what that meant. What followed was not an investigation, it was a purge. Over the next months, people connected to the heist began to disappear. Some were found in cars, some were never found at all. Stacks Edwards was among the first. The crew members who had handled the boxes, who knew the names, who might one day talk, went quiet one by one. Within a year, at least half a dozen were dead. Investigators watched the bodies surface. They knew the killings pointed back to the robbery, proving it was another matter. The money made things worse, not better. Burke was reluctant to pay full shares. Every man owed a cut was also a man who could inform. Loyalty and threat became the same thing. By the time the FBI closed in, most of the crew was dead. The cash had vanished into the economy of the street, spent, laundered, or buried in ways no one could trace. Almost none of it was ever recovered. In the end, only one man was convicted for the heist itself. Louis Werner, the cargo worker whose debt started everything, went to prison. The organizers walked. James Burke was never charged with the robbery. He was later imprisoned for an unrelated murder. He died behind bars in 1996. For decades, the case stayed open in name only. Then, in 2014, federal agents made an arrest. An aging mobster named Vincent Asaro was charged in connection with the heist 36 years after the van rolled up to the terminal. At trial, the jury heard about that December night. They heard about the money and the bodies. In 2015, they reached a verdict. Asaro was acquitted. The men who planned the perfect robbery had made only one mistake. Not the vault, not the guns. A van left on the wrong street by a man who stopped to rest. Most of the $5 million was never found.